A hot and steamy summer night in Toronto. Perfect weather for banging heads as Toronto faces Hamilton. After a Grey Cup championship last season, there was a buzz in Toronto about an undefeated 18-0. But the Argos had to go through Saskatchewan. Or was it Saskatchewan going through the Argos? In the fourth quarter, big plays in Regina. Curtis Mayfield narrowed the gap. Then Dan Farthing's catch set up the winning TD. And Don Matthews had to say no to 18-0. In Hamilton, the O is in whoa. An 0-3 start, and the focus is on Coach Don Southern. His job's on the line. Anthony Calvillo, the #1 QB, is hurting, and inexperienced Mike Colley is at the reins. Get ready. Hamilton and Toronto coming up. The roof is open at Skydome in Toronto, Ontario, which is a good thing. When the Hamilton Tiger Cats beat the Toronto Argonauts, these two clubs can lift the lid wherever they're playing. Alongside CFL Hall of Famer Danny Kepley, I'm Rob Folds. And Kep, there are two streaks on the line. The Argos at 2-1 have lost one, but the Ticats at 0-3 have lost big.
Well, one-game losing streak for Don Matthews and the Toronto Argonauts. That's enough for them. But 0-3 for Don Southern and the Hamilton Ticats constitutes they have to do dire things tonight to get this ball game and get a victory.
Let's take a look at the standings as we get ready for week 4 of the CFL campaign. In the West, it's everybody in first place except, surprise, the Calgary Stampeders looking for that elusive first victory. In the East, Montreal leads at 3-0, Toronto 2-1, Winnipeg in third, and Hamilton desperately needs that first victory. This game is a study in contrast, and let's begin with contrast number 1, the quarterbacks. Doug Flutie against Mike Colley.
Mike Colley? Mike Colley's the rookie out of James Madison, and he has to take it as a compliment that he's getting mentioned in the same sentence as Doug Flutie. Had his opportunity to play the second half of a ball game last week. Started off, he threw 3 interceptions. Doug Flutie is on pace to beat Doug Flutie. The one thing he wants to rid himself of is a loss last week.
That is contrast number 1. Contrast number 2 in the backfield, the running backs. The experience for Toronto of the pinball, Mike Clemens, against rookie Archie Emerson for the Ticats.
Rookie quarterback, rookie running back. Now, this is a guy, Archie Emerson, who comes out of northern Arizona with a long list of credentials, and Don Southern is just hoping that he can live up to those tonight.
As for the pinball, well, the pinball is pinball. Take a look at the numbers, but the problem was he had 2 fumbles against Saskatchewan. He was happy with the performance, but he wasn't happy with the substance against Saskatchewan.
All of the stuff at the end of the night, you know, I had over 200 yards last week, and I fumbled at the end of the game, so it didn't make a difference. Winning is what it's all about, so doing whatever I can to compliment the team is what's important.
And my keys for the night for the Hamilton Ticats. First, they got to protect the quarterback, buy him some time, let him build some confidence. Secondly, the defense has to play Sudsy's D. He has historically had great success against Doug Flutie. And thirdly, somebody has to step up on that Ticat team and carry the torch for the Toronto Argonauts. The first thing that Doug Flutie has to do, change the formations, get some mismatches offensively. Secondly, the defense, bring the heat on that young quarterback. Thirdly, don't give up the big play. Last week against Saskatchewan, 5 plays, over 200 yards.
Don Matthews, head coach of the Toronto Argonauts, says you've got to play hard or you go home. He'll expect his team to play that way tonight. 140 victories in the CFL. They call him Sudsy. Don Southern at 19-32 in his 4th season at Hamilton. They say his job is hinging on tonight.
And there's a lot of guys out there for that Hamilton Ticat team that don't want that to happen. They're going to go out there and play with their complete hearts this evening.
The Tiger Cats will have the first possession. The deep men, Shonday Smith and Aaron Ruffin. And the game is underway. A great rivalry, Hamilton and Toronto, and it's taken at the 25. Ruffin gets to the 40 across the line, may have fallen to the 45, and that is where we will see the Hamilton Tiger Cats scrimmage. And leading the way is Mike Colley from James Madison. They'll have Archie Emerson and Marcus Thompson in the backfield. Smith, Simmons, Moriali, and Thornton are the men that he'll be throwing to. And up front, these are the big guys: Short, Schmidt, Davies, St. Germain, and St. John. 1st and 10 from the 45. Cawley gets the call, and he hands it off. Nice turn. But really not that much of a gain for Amerson, 3 yards.
The defense for the Toronto Argonauts. Up front, Demetrius Maxey, Stewart, and Oscar Giles on the outside. Their linebacking core, Eric Johnson, Ken Benson, Mike O'Shea in the middle, and Reggie Gibbons on the outside. In the back end, Adrian Smith, Johnny Harris, Lester Smith at the safety, Antonius Bonner, and Marcellus Simmons on the corner.
2nd and 7. Cawley back to pass. He's caught, gets away. He'll scramble to the left, tries to get away again. Not going to happen this time. Maxey takes him down. Full measure.
Just as I mentioned with the keys for the Toronto Argonauts, put the heat on this guy early, find out what he can do. Number 37 is Ken Benson, the linebacker that comes from the outside. Scrambles up Mike Cawley, spins him around, and Demetrius Maxey comes in for the cleanup.
2 and out for the Tiger Cats. Paul Osbaldiston will do the punting. And the deep man for the Argonauts, Mike Pinball Clemens. And very close to being blocked. They've got a flag for roughing the kicker. Pinball will pick up the ball just over his own 30. Gets his head down and is pushed back. But Paul Osbaldiston is down. That was very close, and the flag was up.
Well, the one thing you've got to make sure, if you're going to get that close to the kicker on a block, then you got to get part of the ball. Major foul, roughing the kicker. Toronto number 21, 1st down.
So Hamilton gets the ball back on the roughing the kicker play. Ooh, in deep, a little submarine action there by Nemako. George Nemako on special teams came down. It appeared he tried to duck away, but he wasn't going to miss him.
Well, he came straight up the middle. No one touched him. He had a straight shot at the ball, and the thing that he did was he got so close to the kicker when he did decide to try to make the block, he just ran right into him. Paul Osbaldiston will take that hit. Unfortunately, he's still down, but that just keeps the drive alive for the young quarterback in the offense of the Hamilton Ticats.
So as they work on Paul Osbaldiston, he is the veteran, 12 years in the league. Quickly started his career with BC and Winnipeg before finding a very good fit with the Hamilton Tiger Cats. So Don Southern, as you watch him march around the field, Paul Osbaldiston getting to his knees.
And Rob, this is a crucial thing because Paul does both the punting and the field goal kicking.
Trotting out to check on him is Lee Knight, another veteran with the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
Those are two guys that have been together for a long time. Osbaldiston 12 years, Lee Knight with 11 years.
I think the landing hurt him more than anything else.
As soon as Nemako came from the outside, you see he tries to get across the body of Osbaldiston, but he's so close. As soon as he does, he takes the leg out, and Ozzie comes down and falls right on the flat of his back.
Mike Cawley, 1st and 10 from the 55. Again, it's Emerson. He trips his way across the 50-yard line into Argo territory. Oscar Giles was the man on the tackle.
I like the first couple play selections by the young quarterback. Mike Cawley's going to run the ball inside a bit, make that Toronto defense settle down, respected run, and then he can come back and do a little play action pass, buy a little time when he decides to throw the ball downfield.
2nd down for the Ticats. Cawley, the pitch. Around the corner, trying to turn, not going to get it. That was Emerson again. And Demetrius Maxey held him up along with Kenny Benson.
Right here, you're going to go into the teeth of the Toronto defense when you try to run the ball outside. This defensive team has as great a speed as I have seen in a long time for a defensive squad.
So 3rd and 3, and we'll see the kind of condition that Paul Osbaldiston is in after taking the roughing the kicker penalty. He is there, didn't have much time to rest. Mike Clemens stands at his own 9-yard line. Pinball is ready to take off. Aussie's punt. Clemens takes it on the run at the 7, tripped up, and dropped right at the 10. 41-yard punt, 3-yard return. We'll see Doug Flutie in the Argos offense when we return. The Canadian Football League on ESPN is brought to you by Rude Air Conditioners. You can rely on Rude. Skydome in Toronto. 1st and 10. We'll see Doug Flutie in the Argo offense for the first time, starting deep in their own zone. There is Anthony Calvillo. He is out of the lineup, suffered a concussion against Winnipeg and also a hamstring pull. They say it's the hamstring that's keeping him out of the lineup.
Yeah, he said, I could play with the concussion part of that, but the hamstring, I just do not have the mobility that I need to play at full speed.
Doug Flutie wants a little measure of revenge, and he's not afraid of using the Ticats for it after losing to Saskatchewan a week ago. He's got a new man in the backfield. We'll set that up for you in a moment. Mike Saunders, and the pass is complete to Dwayne Demetrician. And here is the Argo offense. It is Doug Flutie who just completed that 25-yard completion. Drummond and Clemens in the backfield. Demetrician was the man making the catch. He's also got Mitchell and Saunders as the slots. Masadi is the other wide up.
Toronto number 88.
These are the men.
Repeat first down.
Slack at center. Williams, Verchevel, Payne, and Giaskis. And we can tell you now that 25-yard gain is heading back for a procedure call. Well, at least Doug Flutie knows, as you take a look at his numbers, 61% for career, that he can move the ball. 1st and 15, 5-yard line. And on the move in the end zone, he throws it. He's got his man complete. That is Andre Kerwin. Tiggle makes the tackle.
For the Hamilton defense up front, Joe Mumford, Mike Campbell at the tackle, Mike Philbrick, and Gonzalo Floyd on the outside. Their linebacking core, pretty tough one. Aaron Ruffin, Calvin Tiggle in the middle, Justin Ring, the 2nd-year guy out of Simon Fraser. In the back end, Eric Carter in the corner, Gerald Vaughn, Rob Hitchcock in the middle, Kenny Wilhite, and Orlando Steinauer on the outside.
1st and 10 for the Argos. Flutie dishes it out. He makes the play. That's to Robert Drummond. Drummond may have got 4 yards before being pushed out of bounds.
Doug Flutie comes out with a lot of different formations. Each one of these athletes in the back end, whether it's the running backs, the inside slots, they can play every position, so it makes it very tough for the defense to match up with them.
What's Flutie going to work on in that defensive secondary? Is he going to work on the corners, Steinauer and Carter, or is he going to work through the middle and go for the soft stuff, the 6 to 8 yards?
That's the scary thing about Doug Flutie. You never know what he's going to work on because he works on everything. And he doesn't just pick one thing and keep gnawing at it.
On the move, the roll, and the catch, and the first down by Pinball Clemens.
Rob, the one thing that we talked about is that Doug Flutie has so many weapons, and the one great thing about Doug Flutie in the sense is that he knows how to spread the ball around so he can keep all of his weapons very happy.
6-yard gain for the first down. We told you Mike Saunders is the new man in the alignment. Feldman Malveaux was put in the practice squad. They want to try a little more experience with Saunders.
We'll talk a little bit about that right after this play.
And out to Pinball. Flag is up. Clemens gets about 7 yards before he's held up. Little swing pass to Pinball. He got the yard, but the flag came up before he crossed the line of scrimmage.
Malveaux was the guy that they put on the practice roster.
Major foul, face mask, Hamilton number 98, first down.
Mike Campbell got cut for the face mask.
Crucial thing that this Hamilton defense can't do. Toronto is so potent, they don't need any help. Don't help them with bad penalties.
That is a 15-yard penalty and puts Toronto across midfield and into Hamilton territory at the 54.
We talked quickly about Malveaux. The only thing that he had really going was great speed. He wasn't a receiver yet. He wasn't a seasoned receiver. Mike Saunders brings a lot of experience and great reading ability to this Toronto offense.
Rolling to his left, the throw, nice catch, and out of bounds. Good play by the slot back Daryl Mitchell at the sidelines.
Rob, a late flag thrown in the back end. Let's see if we get some illegal contact. But you're going to get Kenny Wilhite, one-on-one, great break. Look at the
Illegal
close on there.
On an eligible receiver, Hamilton number 32.
There you go, giving the Argos another one.
First down.
This time it was Aaron Ruffin.
Aaron Ruffin, but you saw there was some good coverage by Wilhite. Doug Flutie made an excellent throw.
So first down again at the 40-yard line. Penalties certainly helping out this Argo drive that they started at their own 10. Were driven back to their 5, and now they're at the Hamilton 40. From the shotgun, Flutie. Nice little draw to Drummond. And Tiggle was there to take him down.
Play that they like to run a lot. Doug Flutie likes to line up in the shotgun formation, sets up that passing situation, but then he just runs the inside trap play to Robert Drummond. And this guy, when he can find a hole at 6'3", 215 pounds, he can make a lot of things happen.
Calling it a 2-yard gain for Robert Drummond. He's got 3 touchdowns, 2 on the ground. On the move is Flutie. He stops and drops it over the middle. He's got a man. And in. Can he get into the end zone? Touchdown, Mitchell. Daryl Mitchell, little cross pattern through, and Doug Flutie found him, and off go the fireworks. Argos are on the board. 7 minutes into the first quarter.
Look and see what Doug Flutie looks like. The safety is up. He's poaching. It's a wide open in the middle. All he has to do is call those receivers to call the crossing route. And Mitchell does a great job finding the open area, and Doug Flutie makes no mistake about putting the ball on the mark.
38-yard touchdown catch. Drummond's 4th touchdown of the season. He's got now 2 on the ground, 2 in the air. Mike Vanderjet puts it away, and the Toronto Argonauts have themselves a 7-0 lead in the first quarter from Skydome. Argonauts lead by a touchdown. Doug Flutie was 5 for 5 on the drive for 87 yards. He used 5 different receivers. And now the Tiger Cats backing up his Ruffin at his own 15. Finding some room, gets to the 30. Still got room. He's crossing the other way at the 40. Finally hauled down at the 45-yard line. He found no room inside and tried to take it down the middle.
Take a look with Doug Flutie. He's going to get the rush from the outside. Now that's Montford coming. Drummond's going to come all the way across. Doug Flutie sprints out, gets outside the pocket slightly, buys just a little bit of time, and that finds the open man.
There it is. It took 4 minutes, 2 seconds. A 100-yard touchdown drive. They started at their own 10. Mitchell taking it home. Calling over the middle. He's got a man as they charge through, maybe get to the line of scrimmage. That's Thomas, the running back, Marcus Thomas.
See, See, but the thing right now, Rob, you're going to run a draw play. I mean, you're going to run a screen play, and he hasn't thrown any passes yet to even set up that screen play. So that defense is going to settle in and wait to see what this young quarterback's going to do. They're not going to get after him right away. That screen play's not going to work this early.
Good quote on Colley. He's as tough as a 39-cent steak.
The guy said he was tough. He's a competitor. He doesn't take any slack from anybody, and he's out there to win the football game.
And he's scrambling right now. He's got some room. He's got the first down. Head down. Charges through. He's got the first down into Argo territory to the 50-yard line. Well, they said he could run. He's not afraid to go.
He's a big fella. He's 6'1", about 205. Wide shoulders on him. I took a look at him in the pregame warm-up. But take a look. He's going to look and find a spot, get that open position, look at the first down marker, lower that shoulder, and pick up the first down.
Even took the hit from Johnny Harris there. Bumps into him. First and 10 to give it to Amerson. He drives ahead for 4. Stewart brought him down on the other side.
If Amerson can have some success running the ball inside, and this puts a lot of strain on this Hamilton offensive line, if they're able to control the line of scrimmage against Toronto, that will be able to buy the young quarterback a little extra time and just give him that extra second that he needs, hopefully to complete some passes for Don Southern's offense.
But as a rookie quarterback, does that set up the Argo defense to go after more? We'll find out. He steps up. He's going long for the touchdown. It was intended for Ticats. Amerson coming out of the backfield, but it was over his head. So Colley's got an arm.
Stepped up. He threw the ball slightly off balance. And you take a look at this guy's arm strength. They're coming with the blitz again. Full out linebackers. That's Vincent from the outside. And he steps up. He's not planted. And he's sure rifled that ball a good 60 yards down the field.
Stood at midfield and let her rip. So now we'll see Paul Osbaldiston again. The pinball. Mike Clemens stands at his own 6-yard line. Clemens lets it bounce. It bounces for the Ticats. Clemens touches it at the 5. Starts to get some room. Gets across to about the 13-yard line. 41-yard punt, 3-yard return. Argos lead by 7. Argonauts lead by a touchdown, scoring on their first possession. Doug Flutie starts his team out at the 13, drops, and throws it to nobody in particular. That was aimed for Dwayne Dimitrition, but he was still running his way that way, and I think Doug was trying to get out of harm's way.
But Doug felt a little heat, as I said. He tries to line up in that shotgun formation. It buys him just a little extra time, like he needs it. But then he found Dimitrition coming all the way across the formation. Wilhite had fallen down. He had it wide open and just overthrew him.
Well, talking to the Hamilton coaching staff, they say the Argos average about 8 yards per play. They're willing to take the 6 to 8-yarders. What they're trying to do is force Flutie and maybe to get him to throw across field. This way. Oh, he's knocked down. Great play by the defense, and that is Joe Montford. He was on him, narrowing the field down for Flutie, and Montford narrowed him down.
Montford is a load just from the outside. Look, he makes a good swim move to the inside. Then he shows what good pursuit speed he has. Goes inside. Then he's able to go back outside and chase down Doug Flutie to put the lick on him. Montford, 6'1", about 235 out of South Carolina State.
Mike Vanderjet will punt from his own end zone. Steps up to the 3 before letting it go. And hauling it in now for the Ticats is Steinauer. Steinauer gets across midfield around the 52-yard line, and that is where the Ticats will start.
Just to remind the folks that are watching in the Canadian Football League, the punt is a live play. There are no fair catches. The coverage team has to give a 5-yard cushion, and the return man gets an opportunity to keep this a live ball and a live play.
Anthony Calvillo, AC, watching. He will call in some plays to Colley. First half scoring, Tiger Cats have scored 12 points. Opponents 60-61. That screams at you. And Don Southern says we've got to get some first quarter points.
Well, it's awfully tough when you're always playing catch-up.
Look at the speed. Colley's got it around the outside. He's going into Argo territory around the 25-yard line.
Now, you like to see this with a young quarterback. Comes back, sprint out action. Good coverage in the Toronto defensive secondary. But look at the quick feet. Now the burst of speed. He accelerates, runs right past Mike O'Shea, and then smart. He gets to the outside, gives a little hand signal, say, no, 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 don't make that block. He said that's going to be a clip. Watch the hand signal.
22-yard gain. First and 10 from the 25. To give it to Amerson. Amerson pounds his way in. He's headed for the end zone. Finally brought down at the 5-yard line. The rookie with a 20-yard gain.
Rob, I said it in the opening. Rookie quarterback with a rookie running back. Man, it's a good 1-2 punch right now for him. But look at this. It's just going to be a counter trap play. Get the ball to deep to Emerson. Let him find the hole. That's number 54. That's Blaine Smith making a good effort to get up in the hole. And Emerson showing great vision and quick feet. Gets it down to the 5.
Lester Smith brought him down. First and goal. Colley's got the time. He throws it in the end zone. Touchdown. Great play, and that was Shonday Smith with the grab.
Smith for the touchdown.
Shonday Smith out of Kansas. That's his first touchdown reception of his career. Now here's the play action pass. Fake it to Emerson inside. Freezes the defense. Comes outside. Now stop. Gather yourself. Show some composure. He throws it out there on a string. Marcellus Simmons has a chance to make a play, but great concentration by Smith. Looks it in for the major score.
Especially with the arm coming over top. That is Jude St. John, slow to get up. Shonday Smith, 5'6", 170 pounds. The 23-year-old's a rookie. He's from Los Angeles, played at Kansas.
Now this is a guy, when he lines up on the outside, what he brings to the Hamilton Ticats is not only the good hands that we just saw, but pure speed. He spent time at 4'3". This guy can get from A to B in a hurry. Good deep roll. Now, look how the quarterback Colley sets up. Somebody's right in his face in Benson, and he just lets it fly. A little sidearm, gets the job done.
And to Don Southern's pleasure, they get a first quarter score.
Well, there's a lot of teams that you may be able to not score a lot of points in the first quarter or the second quarter and get behind, but Toronto doesn't happen to be one of those teams. You better be able to compete with them point for point or get ahead and make them play a little catch-up ball.
These two sides met earlier this month at Hamilton. Toronto was a 2015 winner, but they were ahead at one point 20-1. That doesn't help when you're trying to make the big comeback. Due to time constraints, we'll move ahead in our coverage into the second quarter with it all tied up. Cats 7, the Argonauts 7. Second quarter just underway. Argos start first and 10. They're at the 53-yard line. Flutie from the shotgun. Give it to Drummond. He charges across midfield. He's into Hamilton territory. And again, Montford was there for the tackle. They keep going to that side. It looks like Kep trying to work Campbell Montford instead of looking the other side, Philbrook Floyd.
Well, both of those guys, this front of the Hamilton defense does extremely well. I don't think they have a favorite of where they like to choose, because they can run that same play, and they do run that same counter trap to both sides equally as well, so that none of the defenders can key on one area.
You got a very quick peek there at Kendrick Nord. He's the backup to Mike Colley. Look at that play. Dimitrition may have got 3 or 4. Let's call it 4. It's a nice little trick play, wasn't it? And Montford was there again.
This guy's all over the field, faking the tackles, and he stops it short of a first down. Makes it about 3rd and 2.5 or 3. Joe Montford's right there. He's from my home state and around my area. He's from Beaufort, North Carolina.
Is that a good drive from your place?
Well, it's not very far. It's
Go over for barbecue?
It's within hollering distance. From Goldsboro, North Carolina, where my family lives now.
Vanderjet on the punt. Taken at the 15-yard line. Little dancing. Good move again. Some good play. Wilhite again. Punt was 34 yards and a 12-yard reception. We talked about the rivalry here. You had it when you played in Edmonton with the Edmonton-Calgary rivalry. Toronto is only about a half an hour away from Hamilton, and over the years, these two teams have built a very hefty dislike for one another.
Absolutely. I mean, that old cliche term, they said there's no love lost. Well, there's no love gained between these two guys either. Hey, and we got to change the quarterback. Nord's in place of Cowley.
Well, we'll try to get word on what happened to Mike Cawley, that they go with Kendrick Nord. Nord's 6'4", 210. He's from Grambling. And he sprints out to the right side. He'll pass. First time up. Oh, he hit the man in the hands. Smith. Nope, check that. Simmons found him streaking towards the sidelines. And Kendrick Nord is 0 for 1 in his first appearance.
Kendrick Nord brings a lot of credentials into this ball game also. This guy out of Grambling in his career threw for over 6,000 yards, 64 touchdowns. Tremendous athlete, and what he can do right now is bring him in at this point of the game and let him sprint out, let him move around and tire out this Toronto defense. Let them get tired chasing him.
And they're chasing him right now. Kenny Benson is part of that posse trying to chase him down, and it drops short for Smith. So it's 2 and out for Kendrick Nord in his first time. The first time these two teams met was in 1873. You want a little history? How's that?
This league,
you played in
has a lot of history. I did. I still have the fold-up helmet.
Keep it in your back pocket. Use it as a wallet now.
But I use it as a puff in some of my jackets.
So they have got the proximity. They've played a lot of games, and each team wants the victory for a number of reasons. On the punt, Clemens dances at the 37-yard line, tries to turn away. Watch out. Pinball gets across the 45 to the 47, and there is a flag on the play, but we will solve everything when we return. It is 7-7 in the second quarter. Hamilton and Toronto. The Hamilton Tiger Cats 7, the host Argonauts 7. Due to time constraints, we'll move ahead in our coverage here in the second quarter. Just under 8 minutes remaining. Action now. Doug Flutie calls a timeout. Doesn't like what he sees.
Timeout, Toronto.
Flutie will head over to the sidelines. What was Hamilton showing that he didn't like?
Well, that happens to be the first time of all the games I've seen Doug Flutie play in and broadcast with, that's the first time I've ever seen him call a timeout and walk to the sideline. Usually Doug Flutie will audible on the line of scrimmage, call a play, pretend maybe he's back in the playground again, and then just make something happen. But here again, as I mentioned earlier, Don Southern was on the coaching staff with the Calgary Stampeders when Doug Flutie was there. He was the defensive coordinator. So he got a lot of looks at Doug Flutie during the practice time. So he has been able to come up with some really good plans over the years that have been able to nullify to some extent what Doug Flutie likes to do.
On 2nd and 15, Flutie takes a look, doesn't like what he sees, gets away from one defender, throws into the end zone. He's got a man. Touchdown. No! What a great defensive play. If he got a hand on it by Rob Hitchcock, the safety. And Paul Masadi's got his hands on his hips, wondering what happened. He was alone.
Rob Hitchcock had talked to me right before the game, stating the fact, he said, you know, defensively, they had me up close to the line of scrimmage, coaching from a safety position, and that's where Doug Flutie burnt them in the first quarter on a touchdown. But this time, he gets to play true safety, get back there, find the open area, play center field. Doug Flutie's going to air it out, then he's going to go over there and try to make a play on the ball. Just slightly gets his hands on the ball, maybe. Paul Masadi unable to come up with the grab.
This is a 38-yard field goal attempt by Mike Vanderjet. It is good. And a field goal by Vanderjet puts the Argos ahead by 3. Argonauts with a 33-yard field goal. My thanks to crack statistician Jim Nish for telling me I can't add. Appreciate all efforts that way.
You need a statistician for that? To tell you that?
Smith on the kickoff. He gets across the 30. You know, I don't do my own taxes.
Well, now, after that slight little glitch, I can understand why.
We're getting back a lot of money, I thought.
You'd be like the guy in those commercials with the chips, and you always think, refund.
You're killing me here. 33-yard line, and that is where the Ticats will bring it out. And again, the quarterback is Kendrick Nord. Cawley got the start. Now Nord is in. Anthony Calvillo is on the sidelines. He's helping out the quarterbacks. Nord takes off to the right side. Pitch. Little defense there by the Argonauts. Johnny Harris. Nord has yet to complete a pass. That was intended for number 88, Charlie Simmons. He's now 0 for 3 since entering the fray.
Now, that'll be all right. I think what I like right now, and this is the first time I've had an opportunity to see this young quarterback, and he just shows a lot of promise. Great quick feet, throws the ball extremely well on the run, both going to the right and to the left. And he happened to list in his bio, one of his childhood stars and idols was Warren Moon. That's a guy I played with who could throw pretty well on the run.
It's not a bad idol, is it? Through 3 defenders, he was looking for one. Now we've got some nose-to-nose conversation that was intended for Bert Thornton.
We're going to see a lot of this, but look how he sets up. Just as he releases the ball, that's number 36, Lester Smith, the safety that came on the blitz. No one got him, and he got to Kendrick Nord.
And now Paul Osbaldiston will do the punting. Mike Clemens stands at his own 35. Oh, good punt. Back goes Clemens. He turns, gets to his 20. Now he has to turn back the other way. Trying to come down the sidelines. He's tough to stop. He got popped, though, big time by Donovan Wright. Argos lead by 3 at Skydome in Toronto. There's Mike Cawley. He was just warming up on the sidelines. Makes me think that whatever the problem was, he's shaking it off and might be ready to come back next offensive series.
And hopefully for Don Southern that there's really not a problem. He just wants to throw a different change, give a little different look out there offensively, and then he was having some good success with Cawley, working the ball, both running it with Emerson and throwing the ball as well.
Trying to dump it across, knocked down to the line. They were trying to catch Robert Drummond coming out of the backfield and just slip it over to him. But that was Gonzalo Floyd. Big old mitts, I think, got up and knocked it down.
6'4", he's out of Texas El Paso. 1996, he played 5 games with the Calgary Stampeders. He was released, came to Hamilton. They started to play him inside early, but then figured out later on, get him to the outside, utilize that height, utilize that quick speed that he had, and let him rush from a different perspective.
Flutie dumps it off on the far side. That's the boot. He's a Canadian. Backs up Robert Drummond from Montreal, Quebec. Went to Texas Tech.
Rob, you better buckle it up pretty tight now because that Hamilton defense is getting after and swarming guys.
Are they showing 3-4 or are they hiding 3-4 and coming with 4 guys?
Well, they're hiding it a bit. They're lining up with 4, and then they're only coming with 2 or possibly 3, and they're dropping off a couple of guys, forcing Doug to throw the ball short, throwing it underneath the coverage, and then that defense is rallying around and game tackling.
Vanderjet will punt again. It's handled by Hamilton. Steinauer. He is swarmed at his own 35. 38-yard punt and no return. Mike O'Shea, who loves the special teams, was there. So Cawley trots back out. A couple of series for Kendrick North. But Hamilton will start at their own 37, let's say. Looks like the 37-yard line, and Cawley is back.
As I said earlier, I don't profess to know a lot what's going on the offensive side of the ball, but it looked like he just wanted to send Nord in there, use that great speed, and try to sprint it out and see if he can tire this Toronto defense out a little bit.
Cawley looks right down the middle. He almost had a man available. That was a great play. And Charlie Simmons been able to cut about one more step. They got deep into the Argo secondary.
Mike Cawley comes back, and he wants to go for a home run ball early. Seam route straight up the middle. See if he can play off the safety. Just slightly out through the intended receiver.
Cawley looked over to AC Anthony Carvillo to get the call. He's looking past. He's going to get pounded as it bounces in front of the intended receiver, Charlie Simmons, but coming around the backside was Johnson.
Eric Johnson is the guy that Don Matthews put on the roster in the place of Melvaux. Great speed on the outside, 6'3", about 220 out of Idaho State. Did a great job. When he comes off that corner, what he's going to say, Don Matthews, I mean, is he says, if they're going to block 5, I'm going to send 6. They're going to block 6, I'm going to send 7. I'm going to outnumber you, and it's up to your quarterback if he's going to hold the ball. That's what's going to happen. He's going to get hit. He's going to get sacked.
Ozzie will punt. Here in the second quarter, less than 4 minutes remaining. Takes a bounce. Clemens tripped up, and the flag comes down. Likely for no yards. 37-yard punt and a 3-yard return. 3:43 left in the second quarter. Doug Flutie brings out the Argo offense.
And just quickly to explain that no yards penalty, the coverage team has to give you 5 yards if you get caught inside that 5-yard area once the return guy touches the ball.
Hamilton, number 18, first down.
Then it's a 10-yard penalty from that spot.
Morreale was in just a little too deep. On the bounce, he got down in deep. Argos. First and 10 on the 51. Flutie back to pass. Knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Is it picked off? No! The tip drill was there, but there were too many Hamilton players after the ball.
And the two big guys were getting after it. Michael Philbrick, and it looked like
the Campbell who gets
Gonzalo Floyd. If he gets up, it's Floyd that gets the hand up. Now those two big defensive guys are getting after it for their first interception of the season.
Floyd, along with Campbell. You don't let the big guys fight over the ball. Of course, they don't see it a whole lot.
They don't get to see it very much, and when they have a chance to touch it, to intercept it, to recover it, they're going to fight you for it.
Flutie looks to Masadi. It's over his head, and out will come the punting unit. Doug Flutie is 10 for 20, 138 yards and 1 TD, and right now he's got the Argos with a 3-point lead. We're back at Skydome in Toronto. Argonauts leading by 3, having to punt again. Hamilton will start just shy of their own 25-yard line. Here you see Paul Masadi a little upset about getting a high pass, but watch Doug Flutie here and Don Matthews on the sideline.
Now what Doug looks like he's talking about, he's going over and talking to Don Matthews. He's saying, look, it looks like Gonzalo Floyd, he's coming in, he's not rushing hard, he's jamming the tackle, and then he's getting vertical to be able to knock the pass down. Maybe that's what he said.
You're paraphrasing, I believe.
Well, I'm trying to.
Mike Culley 2 for 5, 7 yards, and 1 touchdown. That came to Smith in the first quarter, tied the game. Amerson pounds his way through, gets 5 yards. Kenny Benson was there on the stop.
Showed great power as he took that ball. And this is not a big man. They have him listed like 5'8", 175. And this is a guy at Northern Arizona. He was the 1996 Walter Payton Award, which goes to the top NCAA Division I, 2A Player of the Year.
You know, Payton's in town this weekend to watch the kart race
Timeout.
at Exhibition Place. So
Hamilton.
maybe you should come over and check him out. Timeout by Hamilton and Cawley. 2 minutes, 10 seconds left in the second quarter. Argos lead by 3. So Amerson comes in, getting a chance to go right to work. I think Walter would be pleased.
I think he will, from what he's seen earlier about this game. And the youngster has shown great finesse and tremendous strength. The one thing that Don Southern felt that he needed to be able to do with him was also get him involved in the passing game. Get him split out as a slot, waggle him out of the backfield somewhere, but see how well he can catch the ball and put some strain on, additional strain on the Toronto defense.
Second down for the Ticats. And 4 at the 30-yard line. Looking long, big time long. Oh, and it's knocked away by the Argos, Adrian Smith, as Bert Thornton thought he had a bead on him. When Bert's looking over his shoulder, ready to make the catch, you know he's got a line on this one.
But you can see right now as Smith is looking into the backfield, he knows right away he's got the streak route, and then it's a panic. All I have to do, catch up on the inside, watch the inside hands of that receiver. When Thornton goes up, I go up in between it, I'll come up with the ball. Great defensive play by Adrian Smith.
And Oz is back for another punt. Clemens at the 35. Gets to the 40 before being hauled down. And this time it was Blaine Schmidt.
Hamilton's done a very good job so far of, as best as I can say, confusing Doug Flutie or making him look like he's confused. He may not be.
Well, he's only 50% right now.
And it's important right now. There's a minute 53 to go. Doug Flutie has made magic happen during that time, in that short a period of time, that if this Hamilton defense can hold him, maybe force him to go 2 and out, kick the ball away, and go in only behind 3 points at halftime, it is a victory for the Ticats so far in the first half.
You saw a pinball with no rushing yards. There's the pitch to Drummond. He may have got 5, but there is a flag on the play. Floyd was there for the tackle. You know, Flutie started the game off going 5 for 5. Holding is going to be the call, 5 for 5 to 5 different receivers. But now Hamilton D is tightened up.
And I think it comes from, as I said earlier, when Don
Holding. Toronto number 56. Repeat first down.
Well, Chad Folk got caught. He is a rookie.
And what he wanted to do defensively is to give Doug Flutie a lot of looks and then play something different. There's Gonzalo Floyd. Now watch, this is going to be the inside shovel pass. He's going to take the pitch, but then he's going to fall back in and take the shovel pass. That's Drummond. He makes an excellent defensive play. Doug Flutie may have just shoveled that inside just a little too quickly.
With the holding call, it's 1st and 20. Flutie's going to have to look deep. He is looking deep, throwing into double coverage. That was intended for Mike Saunders, as we see him get involved in the offense, but Eric Carter is there, and Carter is being helped out too by Gerald Vaughn.
First pass that we've seen thrown in Mike Saunders' way. He's been around. This guy has been around the league for a long time. 6 years. He's with Saskatchewan, San Antonio, Ottawa. He's been with Hamilton. He was with Montreal. Finally getting an opportunity to play in Toronto. This guy was an all-star and an all-CFL guy in 1995.
He said it was easy to come to Toronto. He's played for all the coaches on the staff. Flutie rolling to his left. Down towards the sideline. That was intended for Kerwin. but too high off his hands, and out goes Flutie and the Argos offense, and in comes the punting unit, and Eric Carter's got some stuff going now. Carter was in doing some serious chatter with the Argos during warm-up, as was Calvin Tiggle, and right now their defense is doing the job. And look at Matthews and Flutie.
You see the look of frustration on Doug Flutie's face and intensity that he has.
Next game, Toronto against Calgary, August the 12th. Check the time in your area. Look at the bounce there. Tiger Cats are just going to jump on it, and there's a no-yard call at the 38. 41-yard kick and bouncing in Hamilton's favor.
Dean Noel does a great job that time as that ball kicks back and bounces back. Everybody's trying to clear out to create the 5 yards.
No yards. Toronto number 21. First down.
Now, the one thing that happens is when you kick the ball like that and it bounces back, the kicker is behind the ball, so he is onside. He is allowed to come down, and he's eligible to come down and recover that thing. So Noel did a great job of picking it up, catching somebody of the Toronto Argonauts, Namako, in the zone, and being able to pick up a 15-yard penalty.
Mike Cawley to give it to Amerson. Amerson trying to get around the left side. Shrugs off one tackle, that coming from Reggie Gibbons, and gets 4 yards. Almost had the corner turn.
Take a look on the outside. This is Eric Johnson, is showing the great speed that he has, and this is one reason why Don Matthews wanted to get him involved in this defense and starting in the lineup. Good speed to get to the outside, closes it, turns it back inside to pursue.
7 carries, 42 yards for Amerson. Cawley throws hard to Thornton. He's got the first down. Finally brought down by Adrian Smith, the corner.
Rob, you gotta like what you see from this young quarterback. Now he's going to sprint out to the same way of the sideline to his left, squats, and then he's going to let it fly. Thornton does a good job, gets downfield, makes the cut, knows exactly where the first down marker is, sets up and makes himself a big target for the quarterback.
Almost 100 yards for Thornton in their first meeting against the Argonauts. Long pass is picked off. There's a flag, 2 flags on the play. Lester Smith, the safety, cruised in to pick it off. We'll watch the flags.
Cawley just not quite patient enough right now, going for that home run ball, but this may be offsetting penalties.
Holding against Hamilton. We've got procedure, I think, against the Argonauts. Illegal contact downfield.
Illegal contact on an eligible receiver, Toronto. Holding. Hamilton number 61 will repeat the down.
Oh, dodge a bullet.
Dodge a big bullet right now. St. John gets called for the holding. But the main thing, they get possession back of the football. It's still 1st and 10.
Well, that would have been the first turnover of the game. 35 seconds left. Amerson coming around the left side. Gets across an 8-yard gain across the sidelines. He was looking for that first down marker. Well, while the Argos aren't using their running game that much, Amerson is the running game for the Ticats. And when you've lost somebody that they used so much like Matt Cody last year, it's nice that Amerson, as a rookie, comes in and able to start carrying the load.
Hey, got a chance to see Matt Cody play in arena football with Orlando the other night.
Cawley looks deep to Thornton. It's too far into the end zone. The 2 Smiths were on him, Adrian and Lester.
Now, AC's going to have to come over there, and also Don Southern's going to come over and tell him, say, listen, you're going to air that thing out down the middle. You better make sure that Lester Smith, the safety, is not sitting in the middle reading your eyes, because it's going to be a pick.
He already did it once. you know that he's going to want to try it one more time. But now Paul Osbaldiston will try a 39-yard field goal. With 23 seconds left in the second quarter, it is up. It is wide right, and they're running it out. Argos will run it out. They will not give up a single point. That's Lester Smith, who gets it down across the 25-yard line.
Well, I know right before the half, 23 seconds to go on the clock, you want to put some points on the board. You try to kick the field goal, and Ozzie is as good as anybody in this league. He shanked out one, obviously. But the thing is, that was about third and about a half a yard. I don't know. Maybe I like the call. Go for the first down, pick up the first down, and give yourself a couple of more plays, maybe to get it in for a major, or to at least kick a shorter field goal.
But from a standpoint of just being equal with the Argos at the half, they were down 20-1 against them in Hamilton. What about that sense?
Well,
10-10, even playing ground, head them out.
Well, you kind of like that, I'm sure. But if I had the opportunity, I'd have some faith the way that the offense was moving.
Pinball's got room down the sideline. He runs out with no time remaining. Waiting for the gun. There it is. That ends the first half of play. A 29-yard gain. And the Argos will take a 3-point lead into the dressing room. 10-7 in Toronto. At halftime in Toronto, Ontario, the hometown Argonauts lead the Hamilton Tiger Cats by a field goal, 10-7. Alongside Danny Kepley, I'm Rob Folds. And Kep, when we take a look at the numbers, there's really nothing to cheer about offensively, but it gives the defense plenty to howl about.
A lot of great defense being played in the first half, but if you want to cheer, you could be the Hamilton Ticats, because they're only 3 points behind. And take a look at how it's turned out. Pretty equal with first downs. The yard rushing, the Hamilton Ticats have been able to move the ball on the ground against this very tough Toronto defense. Doug Flutie obviously is going to be able to throw the ball a little bit better. There's only been 3 attempts by the Hamilton offense. Penalties have had a little bit of play in the game, and this is what Hamilton wants to do. Stay close with Toronto, because they have been a second-half team for the Ticats.
Back. In Toronto, the lid is open. It's about 28 degrees Celsius in the mid-80s. Humid, great summer time play, and a great rivalry. Hamilton and Toronto. What more can you ask for? Ready to go. 10-7, third quarter action. And the Tiger Cats might be exactly where they want to be, only down by 3 against a potent Toronto offense. Mike Pinball Clemens on the kickoff, gets to the 40-yard line. That is where Doug Flutie and the Argonaut offense will start. Argos total yards. First drive was 100 yards. Since then, 47 yards. Speaking volumes over the way the Ticat defense is played in this contest. Doug Flutie is having a little bit of trouble. He is under 50% in completions. Low snap. Dumps it off to Pinball Clemens. Gets to the 40. 45. Fights his way to the 47 or 48, an 8-yard gain.
To move the game.
From the 53-yard line, Doug Flutie over center. CFL outstanding lineman Mike Kiselak. The pitch now to Pinball. Across the 50 to the 52. He's got the first down.
Pinball does exactly what Pinball does best. Is that once he gets the ball, make people miss. He makes the first tackle, the second tackle guy missing. They had him 4 yards deep in the backfield. He still picks up the first down.
Announcer here at Skydome trying to get the hometown fans charged up. Get them that Argo cheer. These are the rivals from Steeltown. The guys from Hamilton like to come up to the big city and beat up on the big boys, they say. Flutie decides to keep. He gets to midfield before being tripped up, and there is a flag.
Look for a holding against Toronto, possibly.
See a couple of the Hamilton players indicating a hold.
Hamilton, number 98, tripping.
Whoa.
First down.
Mike Campbell for tripping on the Hamilton side. What a difference from a hold. And look at Campbell going, what do you mean?
He's looking over at talking to the refs going, hey, have you ever tried to tackle Flutie? Tripping, it could be the best way to get him down. Crucial penalty at a time.
My job is to bring him down. First and 10, 49-yard line. Argos from the shotgun. Flutie rolls and then tries to dump forward. That's going to be an incomplete. As they were trying that play, it looks, is that the third or fourth time he's tried that little shovel forward to Drummond?
Well, this is a play that has been very, very successful for the Toronto Argonauts over the years. He's going to come out. Gonzalo Floyd again does an excellent job. He plays Doug Flutie one-on-one. Then he's able to fall back inside. And you can see Doug Flutie is continually getting more and more frustrated, or at least it shows from his body language.
11 for 24, 146 yards, and 1 TD. Flutie's got a little time. And now looks deep over Kerwin. Oh, that is Darryl Mitchell, who was the intended receiver.
Well, Rob, you really do at this point. You have to give credit where the credit is due, and that's to the Hamilton defense. They have come up with an excellent scheme to play against Doug Flutie tonight, and the frustration you can see on some of the faces, both as receivers, running backs, and Doug Flutie himself, show what that defense is doing to him.
And we have flags and whistles from both sides of the field, and the meeting in the middle.
Offside. Hamilton, number 90. Still third down.
Third down, 5 yards. It just moves Mike Vanderjagt closer. Paul Mazzotti was calling for the ball, trying to tell Doug, I'm ready, I'm here. And now this changes strategy. It is now going to be a 51-yard field goal instead of a punt by the Argos. So the penalty might cost them.
Well, I've got to look back. I'm trying to figure out how the penalty took place. The ball wasn't snapped. It wasn't moved. There wasn't anybody caught in the zone, and they called offside against Floyd.
Mike Vanderjagt hit a field goal of 33 yards in the second quarter.
His longest is 51.
This one looks like it's got the distance. It does. A 51-yard field goal here in the third quarter, and it's 13-7. 7 the score. Mike Vanderjagt was 0 for 3 in the field goal department against the Saskatchewan Roughriders. He is 2 for 2 tonight against the Tiger Cats. 33 and then a 51-yarder. Tiger Cats trying to get some field possession to start their next drive. They get to the 36, maybe the 37, a 21-yard return. And now we'll watch Cauley come back. The word is he's suffering from a bit of a back problem, a sore back that may have hurt early in the game. That is why Kendrick Nord came in for some series and appears to have loosened up again, going to try it.
Scoring drive for the Toronto Argonauts, 6 plays, 19-yard field goal, Vanderjagt.
First and 10. Give is to Amerson. Archie Amerson stopped very neatly and turned the corner. Got 4 yards.
And turn page 22 of your touchdown program.
Amerson is showing quite a bit of finesse out there. Great vision, good quick feet. And this will enable, as I say, when Cauley can use him, that offensive line doing a good job of rushing the ball, he can open up his play-action pass and buy just a little extra time to hopefully complete some passes, because he's going to have to air the ball out against this Toronto team at some point in time.
Second down and 4. Swing pass to the outside.
Long time, fellas.
Doesn't get very far. Moriali was the receiver.
Okay.
Tiger Cats started to use Moriali more in that first contest against the Argos in the second half.
Rob, let's talk about the penalties again with the Hamilton Ticats. And the penalty, the offside, just 3 plays ago, and you can see where Gonzalo Floyd is right there. See, the ball hasn't moved. It hasn't snapped, and they called him being caught in the neutral zone, but there's no movement of the football.
Are you saying the official erred?
I'm saying I would say that he erred. Thank you.
Wallace Baldiston is getting his 9th shot at punting this evening. Oh, a big kick, too. Takes Pinball Clemens down to the 15 before he starts up again. Gets a block. Down towards the sideline. Here comes Pinball. There's a flag on the play. Pinball, midfield. Pinball pushed out of bounds at the Hamilton 35-yard line. But it may all come back.
One of the most electrifying athletes in the Canadian Football League. Mike Pinball Clemens can do it all. He plays offense for you. He can return kicks. He can return punts. He does it all. This guy is just absolutely the best in the business.
And the penalty against Toronto. A 60-yard return has him going in the wrong direction.
Toronto number 28. First down.
Dwayne Dimitrition got nabbed for a holding. Now Toronto will start way back.
And this Hamilton defense has been just creating fits for Doug Flutie and his offense. But that's been the key. Sorry, Rob, but that's been the key. This Toronto, the Hamilton defense in the first 3 games have been playing the majority of the games. The offense have not been able to really substantiate drives, keep them on the sideline, and be able to make first downs and put points on the board. The defense eventually gets tired in the 4th quarter and gives up a lot of points.
That's what I was going to say to you when you take a look at it. Look at the offense for the Tiger Cats in the 2nd and early now here in the 3rd quarter. Nothing. That is not what Don Southern. He had to be happy because he got points on the board in the 1st quarter, but nothing for his team since then. So defense has been there. The offense has not.
But John Southern is the kind of guy, when this is a true 3-phase game up here in the Canadian Football League, offense, defense, and special teams, if your offense is having problems, if they're sputtering, go out there defensively, gut it up, play with big hearts, get the ball 2 and out, turn it back over to Cowley, turn it over to whoever's your quarterback, Nord, turn it over to AC, but turn it back over to the offense as many times as you can. Sooner or later, the percentages are they're going to make something happen and put some points on the board.
Injured Argo on the field is Matt DeBuck. He's a rookie. Went to Texas Tech. He's from Montreal, Quebec. 5'7", 175. Kind of a pinball clone.
Well, he's going to have to go a long way. Only in stature at this point, and he's a young rookie, but Don Matthews has a lot of faith and a lot of great compliments about the young guy, and that's what he's talking about. With the young people that he have included in the 1997 roster, he said, we are building for the future.
In Quebec, he's probably DeBuck. In Texas, he's DeBuck.
Well, we're getting into naked right now.
We're getting into that territory, aren't we?
If you go into that.
First and 10, Argos. Drummond in motion, stops. The give is to Pinball. They're going to try to use the running game now. Pinball gets about 6 yards.
Great tackle by Frank West that came up on the outside. As I said, they're inserting him as their nickel back or their extra defensive back, and he came up on the outside and shut down that run for no gain.
They didn't give him the extra 2 yards on the dive, gave him the 4 yards. 2nd and 6. West was there to try to stop him. Masadi is wide to the left side. He and Doug Flutie have been chatting. He wants him to get the ball. He took a look at him. Now he's looking back. Look at the time he's got. Now he throws it. He's trying to get it to Masadi. It's picked off. Picked off by Steinauer. starts to move downfield. Dangerous time for the Argos. Steinauer is dropped at the 28-yard line. There's the first pick and belongs to Steinauer, his second interception of the season.
What a great football game this has turned out to be. A team with its back to the wall, 0-3, has to come up big. Rumors are that Don Southern could lose his job if he lost this game, and these guys out there on the football field are not going to let Don Southern lose his job tonight.
That was made perfectly clear, too, as we were talking to the players and coaches before the game. They understand the situation. They know when you're 0-3, it is difficult. And they came here for a couple of reasons. A victory and to prove to everybody Don Southern's the coach they want. There's Amerson, but he's dropped in the backfield. Maybe a loss of 2.
Take a look at all the time that Doug Flutie has standing back in the pocket. Now, this is just an absolute great compliment to the secondary, to the defense. Being disciplined, staying with your man, taking everything away from Doug Flutie, and then he just airs it out, and Steinauer does a great job of coming up with his first pick.
But the fact that Massotti and Flutie are in discussion a lot, you saw Flutie look him and then look him off. You think Doug came back to him thinking, well, let's try to get at the ball to see what will go. Calling, carries himself. Does he get enough for the first down? It looks like it. Cawley falls across, gets 11 to 12 yards.
Option play right coming down the line of scrimmage. Here it is. You're going to see Gibbons on the outside. He's going to take the dive. The quarterback is going to pull it out, turn around the corner. He shows some pretty good speed. Some poor pursuit by the Toronto defense getting down that line of scrimmage, and they may be showing just a little bit of signs of being winded. This may be the most Toronto defense that we have seen them play. They're used to having Doug Flutie go out there and create long drives.
1st and 10 on the 18. Amerson, they read that all the way. Archie had no place to go. Gibbons in on the tackle. He had company, too.
Take a look as they come down the line of scrimmage.
Oh,
no place to go. But that's good enough that what Cowley wants to do. He has to run it inside enough to make the defense respect it. Then it sets up the play action or the option when he comes down the field and he wants to stretch it and take it and turn the corner.
Gibbons with 14 tackles coming into this game against Hamilton. Has played with Winnipeg and Baltimore. Now Cawley looking to pass. Got to get out of some trouble. Cawley's going to tuck it and run. He might have the first down. He does. He saved himself a life, and he's got an opportunity now to push the Tiger Cats into the end zone. 15-yard scramble. That's what that was.
Now, this is an athlete that Don Southern found at a free agent camp that he conducts every year down in Canton, Ohio. Cawley, when he first started his career as a college quarterback, he started at Syracuse, only stayed there for a very short time, then transferred to James Madison.
Well, Cawley's a short Syracuse alumni. Remember now Marvin Graves and Kenny Mason are also from Syracuse. Little orange in them till he moved to James Madison. 1st and goal. Cawley fakes to Amerson, tries to get away. He's not going to do it. He had him tracked. Brendan Rodgers.
Well, I think they just went to the well one time too many on this.
Brendan Rodgers had him tracked.
Watch on the outside, just to the top left of your screen. Brendan Rodgers is right there. He's not going to be able to make that tackle going down the line of scrimmage. The only thing he wants to make sure that he did, and he did it well, is make sure that quarterback doesn't get outside of the containment.
2nd and goal, but now they've backed up to the 13. Loss of 7 on the play as Amerson got nipped in the backfield. Cawley tries a quick dump. It goes off the hands of Shonday Smith.
Well, I think it may have had a chance had it hit him in the hands. It hit him in the chest.
He has some zip on the ball.
You can get the handoff. Watch this. Just a quick slant route. 3-step drop. Boom. He's going to zip it in there. Outstretched hands. of Shonday Smith. That would have been a big play, but it come up with Paul Osbaldiston trying a field goal.
Well, he's 0 for 1. He missed the 33-yarder. This is a 20-yard chip shot. It is up. It is good. And just under 10 minutes remaining in the third quarter. 3 points for the Tiger Cats. They trail by 3. Skydome in Toronto, Ontario. The Argonauts lead by 3 after a 20-yard field goal by Paul Osbaldiston. Mike Clemens, the pinball. He's got it at the 8. Off he goes. He's turned the corner. There's a flag. Pinball already had one great 60-yard return called back. A 52-yarder with a flag on it.
Walk it back because it's going to be an illegal block against Toronto.
There's the Tiger Cats scoring drive. It took 3 minutes and 53 seconds, 8
Holding.
plays, and a 20-yard
Toronto number
field
50.
goal.
First down.
Mike O'Shea. And that trots it all the way back. The last time Toronto was on the 8 before it got picked off for the interception that turned into 3 points. Penalties are starting to play. 9 for 85 for Toronto, and only 7 penalties for Hamilton. Don Matthews told us this yesterday. He was happy the way the penalty totals had dropped in the first 2 games. In fact, the first 3 games. He won't be happy to see that number 9 right now.
Not with the amount of yardage and field position that it has cost. Oh, Jesus.
Flutie had to look the other way, and it went through the hands of Pinball Clemens, and it will be a touchdown.
It's a fumble. He battled it behind him.
Kenny Wilhite picks it up. It was not a pass. It was a fumble, and look at the difference here. Another turnover turns into points, and there's a new leader in this football game. The Hamilton Tiger Cats. Wilhite makes the error by the Argos pay.
Doug looked like he was going to try to run like a little quarterback draw or something when he took the snap in the shotgun position, came back, drew the defense in, and then he started to throw it back, and he threw it behind him, and that's a lateral to Pinball. Free ball, open, and obviously Wilhite makes no mistake about picking it up and getting it in. What a great turn of events for this Hamilton defense.
Well, now the Hamilton Tiger Cats are ready to go ahead 17-13. 2 straight turnovers turn into 10 points for the Tiger Cats here in the third quarter. It is now 17-13 Hamilton in Toronto. What a turn of events here in the third quarter at Skydome in Toronto. 2 turnovers by the Argos. Tiger Cats have turned it into 10 points. And right now, they're the leaders. Mike Saunders on the kickoff. Tries to drive through. He's knocked down at the 35-yard line. They might be giving Pinball a little rest. Look at this in the turnover margin. Hamilton -7, Toronto a +1.
Well, I think Hamilton so far in this game, they've been able to straighten out that -7 a little bit. 2 turnovers for Toronto, 0 for Hamilton. And that's the kind of football that you have to play offensively and defensively against a team like Toronto. You have to play mistake-free football.
Pinball Clemens in the backfield, along with Robert Drummond, who's in motion, along with Dimitrition. Flutie drop. There's the pitch that finally works to Drummond. He gets the big gain. 15 yards for Drummond, and finally we see that play click.
Take a look. Doug Flutie's going to counter out, try to get Mumford to go down the line of scrimmage. Then he tries to react back to Doug Flutie on the option, and by that time it allows Drummond to slide back underneath. Quick little toss to him, and Drummond picks up big yardage.
1st and 10, 52-yard line, shotgun. Flutie looking, dishes over to Masadi. Masadi falls. He could be, well, they're going to spot it just shy of the first down. Masadi's been waving at Flutie all night, saying that he's been free. he gets close to the first down.
Paul Masadi, sheer clutch, knows exactly what to take place, where to read the zone, how to set it down, and how to make the best of everything that can happen once he runs his route.
Masadi with 4 yards, and that's going to be a tough one to call. I don't think they got it.
Got nowhere close.
Second and short, and now 2 flags. The motion's starting to boil over. Two bitter rivals.
Yeah, here's what's going to happen, Rod. The defense does a great job. They shut down Flutie. It doesn't look like he had enough momentum to get the first down. And then somebody wants to jump in there and kind of hog tie him and pull him back and get a little physical with it. And now they get an unnecessary conduct penalty against them, and make it a first down.
Well,
major foul.
Matthews.
Face mask. Toronto number 2. 3rd down.
Oh.
Well, my apologies. It was that guy that had a little frustration to take out. Let's take a look at it. Good acceleration off the line of scrimmage, and Doug Flutie gets hit in the face by Mumford, but you can see now he's got a hand on Mumford's face mask going right at him and pulling at him. And they call Doug Flutie.
Yeah, he figured, I guess, that his forward progress had been impeded.
But you see the kind of class he is. The first thing he goes off the field, he goes over and gives a little handshake to Mumford, saying, hey, no problem. And both of them say, hey, this is just football. This is what it's like. It's contact, it's physical, it's emotional, and all of these guys have it. That's why they're on the field.
Vanderjagt will punt. All the way back to the 15. A big problem there for Hamilton's Aaron Ruffin. Ruffin had big trouble, and now we've got a flag on the play. He had to go chasing back after that. There is a flag. Dimitrition was in on the tackle. Casola.
Illegal block. Hamilton number 94. First down.
And Joe Lowe gets caught for an illegal block. So now Hamilton starts from deep in their own zone.
Let's take another look from a different angle at this face match. You can see Mumford got his hands on Doug Flutie. Now Doug Flutie's got his hands on Big Mumford. We got a little WWF wrestling going on out there.
The thing was, though, that Doug didn't have the ball anymore. Toronto 10 for 100. So I guess he figured he was done. He was just using Mumford to help him up. I think that was it. He was just using the two-hander just to help himself up.
You're the play-by-play guy. Whatever you say. You lead me in that direction, I'm going.
It's going to be a short trip. Nice pass there. Cauley threading the needle. Smith making the grab.
Boy, I like a lot what I saw right there by him. He came out, forced the corner, just moved the pocket ever so slightly, bought a little extra time, coming to his right. Now watch the receiver as he comes back over the top, sets down right in the middle of the zone. McCauley throws the ball. McCauley throws this thing just a little bit off balance, but with some zip on it, gets it in for the first down, gives him a little breathing area.
Again to Smith, it was behind him, he couldn't make the catch. Shondai Smith was the intended receiver. It could have been tipped.
Let's take a look at it. Jumps back, throws it up. No, you can't see whether Gibbons got his hands on it or not. The only thing I saw, it looked like the ball was thrown behind him. Still had a little bit of a spiral on it. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Like mine with Flutie helping himself up.
Whatever.
This time, Cauley's the ball carrier. Oh, look at this. Got a little running back in him. As he tries to pound through, got 8. Won't be enough. Too deep, and with the lead now, 17-13, 38 seconds left in the third quarter.
Here's Sharp going to look inside. He's going to come with the down the line option again. And all that Mike O'Shea, the middle linebacker, has to do is flow inside out, make sure that he keeps Cauley just to the outside, and then walk right through him and make that tackle short of the first down. Forces Hamilton into the punting situation.
Kenny Benson also in on the tackle. Balderson to punt. And a shanks it. Pinball is back. He's got it. The 35 is hit and driven back and out of bounds. 46-yard kick. Rough and dragged him down and a 7-yard return. There's Flutie and Masati. They hooked up in the last drive. He's 13 of 27, 1 INT, 1 touchdown for 170 yards. That under 50% jumps out.
Through the course of the 97 season, Doug Flutie has already thrown 7 interceptions.
Starting from the 42. Pitches it off. Kerwin grabs it and yanked out of play. Close to 10. Oh, that is pinball. And that ends the third quarter. Third quarter ends. Toronto on the move, but they're down by 4 points at Skydome against the Tiger Cats. Look at this. Trying to flex and hold everything in at one time.
I tell you what, they got to be really kind of hard up for shots. There's a football game going on down there. Let's get to them.
And only 30 points right now between these two sides. Rob Paul along with Danny Kempley at Skydome. And you love this kind of action because defenses are dictating.
Hey, this is where it's going to happen. I still believe, I'm a firm believer in defense, but I know that offenses sell tickets and put people in the stands.
There's that last play by Pinball Clement. Nice stretch for the Cats. First down, Argos on the 53. Flutie on the shotgun. Oh, in and out of the hands. That is not what Dimitrition wanted to see.
No, just a little lack of concentration on that time because Doug wants to come out. He's going to set up that little shovel pass back inside, try to get the defense to react to it. He reads it. They react to it. Now he just brings it all back outside, and he wants to throw it, make the first down pitch, and catch. The Dimitrition goes in and out of his hands.
Doug Flutie with 1st and 10. Gets the play again from the 53. Make that 2nd and 10 on the incompletion to Dimitrition. Back to pass is Flutie looking deep and across the middle. Oh, Dimitrition was trying to make up for it. Little cross coming up there too, as they almost got surprised by the Hamilton defense.
Rob Hitchcock had a great shot at it playing center field. It's just going to be a seam route. Number 28, Dimitrition's just going to wave it outside, go right up the hash mark, just past his outstretched hands. Hitchcock almost comes up with a big interception.
And there was pressure, too, coming in on Flutie.
Calvin Tiggle, the middle linebacker, came untouched right up in Doug Flutie's face.
And a punt by Vanderjagt. Taking him back deep. Look at the Argos special team. That was on Steinauer. Steinauer got it, and O'Shea was there. Into the 4th quarter. 17-13 here at Skydome. The Tiger Cats leading the Argonauts, putting on a great defensive show.
But it's truly important right now that Mike Cauley go out there and have some possession drives, be able to make some first downs. He needs good first down production. He wants to stay out of 2nd and long against a tough Argo defense that's going to be aggressive with it.
Over center, Doug Davies. There's the pitch to Amerson. Amerson turns the corner, gets about 8 yards, and it is Adrian Smith who chases him out of bounds.
Hamilton does a good job of sealing off the corner right from the back end zone. Quick toss play. You see the good block on the outside, and it allows Emerson with that speed of his to turn the corner, get all the way. The first person that's going to touch him is the cornerback Smith.
Amerson now with 12 carries, 59 yards. And 2 yards now for another Hamilton first down. The give to Amerson. He's got the first down. He busts through and trips up to the 35. 12-yard gain for Amerson. Now with 71 yards.
Good splits up front. Now take a look at Colley. It's just like a little counter step by Amerson. Steps one way, comes back across the flow. That's number 27, Eric Johnson, the linebacker. If he steps up in the hole, he's going to meet him, stop him for no gain. But Emerson's not going to let that happen. Little juke, and he's outside of him.
First downs are even, 8 apiece. Colley rolling to his right. Dumps it off the middle. That's Moriali. Moriali is hit. As we watch to see where they spot. Well, Moriali's tall. They may give him 4.
Watch this. They're going to fake the counter trap coming back. You're going to see Smith and also Shorts come back across. Colley's going to get outside. Sees the Moriali set down in the zone. Dumps it off to him. He may have picked up more yardage had he just continued running that football.
2nd and 6 from the 39. Colley back to pass. Takes a look. Got the time. Now starts to bail. Waits. Throws it down the sideline. Receiver was turned around, but that was out of bounds. Good pressure, too, by the Argonauts' Reggie Gibbons that forced Colley into that situation.
Well, he's really showing some great composure for a young quarterback that hasn't had a lot of playing experience and playing time, I should say. He sat back there, real calm, showed some quick feet, bought a little extra time, got outside, couldn't find an open receiver, and just airmailed it up into the nickel seats, and that'll allow Off Balderson to kick it away.
Good seats for a nickel. 11:41 left to play. 4th quarter. Tiger Cats leading by 4. Paul Osbaldiston to punt after a drive that started at the 15 stalled.
This coverage team has to do a better job. Pinball is just a step or two away from breaking it big.
And it bounces out of bounds at the 12-yard line. 4th quarter action at Skydome in Toronto. Argonauts are down by 4. Hamilton Tiger Cats started this game 0-3. They now lead in the 4th quarter. Still plenty of time left. See if they can snap that O. Argos came in at 2-1. Pass to Saunders. Saunders crossed the 30 to the 35. First down, Toronto. 23-yard gain.
Get an opportunity to see Mike Saunders. Doug Flutie's going to let all the receivers clear out. You see the crossing route. They jam him up. Doug Flutie holds on. Not a lot of pressure on him. Kind of sidearms it to Saunders. Mike does a good job looking that ball in and running after the catch.
Well, there's the running after the catch. Running from the line of scrimmage has been a difference. Rush yards, Hamilton 133. Toronto just 22. 1st and 10 from the 35. Flutie's trying to get out of some trouble. He's being chased. That was Philbrick giving chase. He dumps it off, makes the pass, and gets the first down. 12-yard gain. There's Paul Massotti.
Terrific look at what Doug Flutie does well. Holds him up. He freezes Floyd as he comes down the line of scrimmage. But see, you don't have any containment from the backside. Doug Flutie finds it. He sees Mike Campbell comes up. Just too late getting there. He's already completed it to Paul Massotti.
He's got 52 yards in receptions tonight. That was a 12-yard gain. They give there and driving up the middle.
A little bit of a trick play there, Rob. What they did, Doug Flutie slipped off that time, and they just direct snapped it to Robert Drummond. Watch Robert Drummond just to the right of your screen.
Whoa.
Comes back to him. Doug Flutie peels out of there. He thinks he's going to take all the defense. They may find a little seam, and they picked up a good 4 yards.
There's a guy who's been busy, Joe Montford. 2nd and 5. Flutie back to pass. Looks across. How do you get that open? That is way open for Darryl Mitchell.
Darryl Mitchell does a great job of running the route. It's a man-to-man coverage. They're going to blitz the middle linebacker that It's wide open in the middle. Doug Flutie can see right down the field. Just a little curl route. Safety. Rob Hitchcock comes over and has to make the stick.
That's about the most open we've seen a Toronto receiver since that first 5-for-5 completion drive that Flutie went on to begin the game.
And to their credit, the Hamilton defense made great adjustments after that 5-for-5 completion took place.
Flutie trying to get out of the way. There's a flag on the play. Looks to the sideline. The receiver, Clemens, is covered. Flutie's moved over the 500 mark, at least tap danced around it. 17 for 33, 242 yards. There's a procedure call against the Argos. So Hamilton, who played a pretty good defensive
Toronto number
game.
32, decline, second down.
Mike Saunders caught for procedure, played a good defensive game against Toronto when they were at Iverwin Stadium in Hamilton, has kept up the pressure here in the rematch in Toronto.
Mike Saunders is familiar with Don Matthews from the days when Matthews was the head coach in Saskatchewan. And Don Matthews knew that with the caliber of player that Mike Saunders was, he had to figure out a way to get him into the lineup.
2nd and 10. Flutie looks over the middle. Is that Kerwin with the catch?
That's Kerwin.
Wow, and he took a whack. Look at that one. That moved the sticks big time. 30-yard pass reception for Andre Kerwin. Kerwin, first-year player from Winnipeg, Manitoba, played at Stanford. He got popped there by
Miscues
Carter.
in the secondary. Again, when Doug Flutie lines up in that shotgun formation, it buys extra time already. Kerwin goes all the way across the formation. 3 Hamilton defenders are chasing him, and that's why that completion is able to take place.
Kerwin is down on the field. He went down around the 20 being attended to. This drive started at the 12-yard line. And again, he's starting to use the tools around him.
Lots of dragging routes. Masadi's short. They've got Kerwin going deep. The safety gets caught up. The halfback on that side, Will Height, gets caught up. Kerwin showing some pretty good speed. As you run across the formation, you're able to create some separation between you and the defender. And Doug Flutie, again, did not make any mistake on that completion.
And on the success of this drive, too, Kep, you take a look at it. He's found Saunders. He's found Masadi. He's found Kerwin. He's found Mitchell. All these guys have been involved in moving the ball upfield.
That's why Doug Flutie makes defensive coordinators stay up for days and days and days trying to figure out how to defend him. Because you can't say, well, we'll double team Mike Saunders, or we'll double team Mike Clemens, or we'll double team Paul Masadi. All he does is just go to the other 4 or 5 guys that he's got. So he spreads the wealth around the football field.
1st and 10 for the Argonauts. They're at the 17. Flutie looks in. He's got a receiver. Turning around. Little bump and grind there after making the reception. Mitchell. All of a sudden, the targets are getting open, and a 13-yard gain moves the Argos 1st and goal.
Mitchell, in his first year out of Texas Tech, has shown just great ability as a receiver.
Scored 2 majors this season. Both of them against Saskatchewan.
Well, both of them Saskatchewan, and then he scored the first one in the first quarter.
Right.
That gives him a total of 3. He had a 3-touchdown game against Montreal in the exhibition.
Flutie rolls it in. Touchdown, Drummond. Well, there's the Argo Thunder right there. Should we call that Argo Lightning to follow up with a little thunder?
Rob, you know sometimes how they say that old saying, you better let a sleeping dog lie? Well, I think they woke up Doug Flutie on that drive. Now, Doug Flutie's been scrambling out. He's been pitching the ball. Now he just brings it back inside. Drummond comes in like the shovel pass again. No one's going to be there to take him. Doug Flutie says, well, it's an easy pitch and catch for a major.
And a fair bit of time left to do something with it. Point after is good. It is now 20-17. Argonauts on top again. 6 minutes, 47 seconds remaining, fourth quarter. Argonauts have the lead again, 20-17. Next CFL game, Toronto plays the Calgary Stampeders Tuesday, August the 12th. It's on the Deuce, ESPN2. Check the time in your area. Kickoff now. Tiger Cats looking for some field possession. They're going to get it here. What a nice play by Ruffin. Aaron Ruffin is a defensive back. Very nice kick returner, too. Look at the scoring drive by the Toronto Argonauts. They did the job as Doug Flutie found Robert Drummond. Drummond takes it into the end zone on the 4-yard TD pass. 9 plays and a very comfortable TD, and it ate up a lot of time, Kep.
It really did, and Doug Flutie in the second half, 10 for 15, 151 yards and 1 touchdown, the one we just saw, the Drummond.
And he's rediscovered his receivers. Amerson gets out of the way of O'Shea. Can't get to the line of scrimmage, though. O'Shea held him up long enough that the help came charging through. Oscar Giles and Reggie Gibbons. Loss of 4.
Hamilton by no means right now can get conservative with this thing. They got to go out there and play exactly the way they've been playing. Look at the penetration that middle linebacker Mike O'Shea is going to get. Forces Emerson to have to dip a doodle down, give up some ground, and when he does, Reggie Gibbons is the guy from the outside that comes to stop it for a loss of about 3 or 4 yards.
6 foot, 220 pounds. Reggie Gibbons makes some noise. Second. Down at 13, maybe 14, and now here's Cawley. Gets away from 1, gets to the original line of scrimmage. So he gains 4. Not going to help him much. They'll have to send out the punting unit. Gibbons again was on the tackle.
He wants to sprint. He's going to try to throw back, but he's not going to have any chance to do that because the first guy to show his face is Kenny Benson from the outside, flushes him out of the pocket, and once you get flush against this Toronto defense, they chase you and make something happen. Look at the coverage. Adrian Smith had fallen and slipped. He had a chance. He could have aired it out to Thornton and possibly should have rather than take the loss.
And he got the bump. Nice bump as he fell down to sort of take Thornton out of his path. Cawley had to start to take off. We got some irritable Argos right now. Oh, there's a flag right at the sideline. We're trying to get an idea on who that is.
My guess
could be Cawley.
My guess it's Cawley because he was the guy carrying the ball. Watch as he comes to the outside. That's Stewart. Takes a shot at him. Gibbons has a chance.
Oh, he got triple teamed.
Yeah, and Michael Shea came in, and he was the guy. Watch, take this. Watch that left elbow and that shoulder. He's right down in the chest and face of Mike Cawley.
Well, they've already lost 1 quarterback with concussion and hamstring. His back ailed him earlier in the game that made Cawley come out. They're running thin on quarterbacks.
Don Southern, don't worry about that. He is used to this. One time last year, he had lost his starting quarterback. He had lost his backup quarterback. He had lost
objectionable conduct. Toronto number 81 with a disqualification. 10-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Wait a minute. Now Gonzalo Floyd got himself tossed out of the Saskatchewan game. Now Andre Kerwin gets himself tossed out.
Take
Out
a
of the
look at
Winnipeg
this
game.
shot. That's exactly that. Gibbons is coming by. He's going down.
Oh, they've got the wrong number there. They're calling the wrong number.
Well, they're calling that the number was
81, which is Andre Kerwin.
Okay, now that's the guy that got to be wrong on that. Kerwin,
Correction. Player was Toronto number 91. 91.
Demetrius Maxey. They're calling for objectionable. Here's the hit last week on AC.
Now, as AC starts to run, look at him. He's going to slide. This is supposed to be one of the things. Once the quarterback slides and he slides feet first, he's supposed to be down.
That's it's Nick Ferguson who nailed him.
I still got to question this call because you got to look for Anthony Cavillo, and we'll take a look at this a little later on, hopefully. We can see he starts to slide 1 yard before the defender, the linebacker, was coming up to make the tackle. He never gave the linebacker any chance, and that's what linebackers get paid to do, make tackles.
Kendrick Nord is the quarterback now. He takes it in for the first down. But let me just say this to you. In a case like that where a quarterback is running, most linebackers and DBs know that the quarterback's going to slide in home.
No, they're
so
not.
you let him up. You got to know he's coming down.
Well, but as soon as the quarterbacks do run, I mean, you can't take for granted that they're going to slide. The next thing you know, they make you look like a fool, and they juke around you, and it goes for 6 points.
Well, I think maybe the official may have thought that Cavillo was already on his way down and gave him the call. So Nick Ferguson got nipped for it, wasn't happy about it. Don Southern says they got to start protecting the quarterbacks. Here's Amerson with a bump as he is taken out of play, and that is Adrian Smith hanging him on him.
Let's take a look right now and see if we can see exactly why Demetrius Maxey got thrown out of the game. Right in the middle of your screen. He's standing up right there. Michael Shea's already made the hit. Now look at him. He's going to stand over the quarterback.
Oh,
do a little taunting with him.
Well,
obviously, not only did he do that, but he had to say something to the ref to get the disqualification.
So Maxey gets himself tossed out, not for anything physical, for verbal. In motion. Marcus Thomas. Give those to Amerson. He guts his way for 6. 4 minutes, 23 seconds and counting here in the fourth quarter. Argos lead by 3. Touchdown pass, 4 yards. Flutie to Drummond, put them on top again after a 10-point Hamilton third quarter.
Amerson comes out for 1 or 2 plays. He's been just a workhorse out there. And you can see Cauley on the sideline. He's trying to gather all the cobwebs up, see if he can get them out of his head, get straightened up. He's played such a wonderful game, and he's really made a good showing for himself tonight.
2nd and 4 from the 34. Kendrick Nord starts the roll and the pitch. Thomas falls 3 yards, and now we'll start watching the clock to watch the time here in the fourth quarter. 3.5 left. That time Marcus Thomas would like to have it back, losing his footing. Here we go, 3rd and 2. You're at the 32. And Paul Osbaldiston, head down, is going to try a 39-yard field goal. Might as well go for the tie. Would you have gone for it?
No. Get the 3 points right now.
And he does. It's a tie game. 39-yard field goal by Osbaldiston. Hamilton and Toronto, they're square at 20 at Skydome. Fourth quarter, 3 minutes, 13 seconds remaining. Argonauts and Tiger Cats, and after a field goal, the Argos had the option to kick off or take it on the 35, and they're taking possession on the 35. Flutie starts the roll to his left. That kind of just thrown over to Drummond. He gets the first down. You know, if he was at the 3-point line, he might have had himself a 3.
Where Hitchcock and Ring were both right on him. That is a tremendous play by that guy right there. He is one of the most physical running backs that I have seen in a long time. 6'3", 215 pounds, and he gets it done when he touches the football.
3 minutes left in the fourth quarter. It's tied in Toronto. Less than 3 minutes remaining. Fourth quarter. Hamilton looking for its first win of the season. Argos at 2-1, trying to end a one-game losing skid. They swing it out the pinball. He is dragged down, but a gain of 4 yards as Frank West was on him.
Defense that they've been playing quite a bit off. They just put Frank West man-to-man on pinball all over the field.
Second and 5. Pinball, 7 rush yards, 72 receiving yards. He keeps racking away on the all-purpose yards. time. Everybody looking deep. Intercepted. Oh, boy! Almost picked off by Hamilton's Gerald Vaughn. Boy, the Cats are happy about that one side of their halfback core. They really like Vaughn and Carter, and that time Vaughn almost stole it away.
Watch Masada. He makes it just a play, stretch down. He's going to slide outside. The ball slightly thrown behind him. Vaughn makes a great break on the ball. He can only get his right arm up. He almost makes the interception just with one hand.
Looking for his second interception of the season. Now the punt by Vanderjagt. Whoa, deep. Almost at the goal line, trying to get some room. Ruffin is dragged down. The Tiger Cats will try to start the drive from the 3. Brendan Rogers nailed him for no gain. Well, 2 they're going to call it. 54-yard punt. And now we'll see what the Tiger Cats can do with time at 2 minutes and 13 seconds.
Just to let you know, in the Canadian Football League, update you on the rules. In the last 3 minutes of the half and of the game, the clock stops after every play. So if it's a completed pass or a run, the clock will stop. They'll line up everybody, get them off the pile. Then once they get lined up, they'll blow it in. So 3 minutes can take a long time and a lot of plays.
Kendrick Nord back in his own end zone, gets cranked there by Givens, but got the ball away. He gets up. Reggie Givens welcomed him to the CFL, didn't he?
Well, you have to think, and I got to question some of the calls that are taking place right now. Nord's going to come out, and he's going to try to go for the home run ball. Givens is going to come off the corner. Nobody's going to hit him. This pass has got to be thrown already because Nord knows that he doesn't have that much time to throw the ball. Plus, in the same instance, they push you in 2nd and 10 situation again. This Toronto defense is going to get after you. You need to make some possession drives. And now, if you've got to punt the ball away, Doug Flutie's going to get the ball back with 2 minutes to go.
2nd and 10. There's Amerson with the ball. Turns the corner. He may have got the first down, 13 yards, as he danced down that line to get the first down.
Gutsy call, I tell you what. Emerson has just been a workhorse. He has really gained my respect tonight of what he can do in the backfield of the Ticats. Draw play, good blocking up front. That's St. John and St. Germain on the outside. Doug Davies, the center, doing a good job. Picks up the first down, steps out of bounds.
A little more comfort zone now for Kendrick Nord. Threw for over 6,000 yards in his 3 years at Grambling.
Take this ball and sprint out. If it's not there, run it.
And he gives it to Emerson, who dances through the line, but then he gets caught up. Andrew Stewart was right on top of him. And a 2-yard gain for Emerson.
Well, now where Nord can have a good opportunity is to come out there. It's 2nd and 8. You've got to sprint it out to the corner a bit. Force timeout. Toronto. Make them chase you a little bit. If the receiver's open, hit the pass. If it's not open, then let Nord scramble. He's got the pair of fresh legs, the freshest on the field.
Toronto has called a timeout. Defense trying to get a handle on what's going on. Emerson has got 17 carries for 95 yards, and Mike Cawley is coming back into the game.
Got to change your quarterbacks. Okay.
Well, obviously he's shaking out the dust after getting cranked. And 1 minute, 54 seconds left. 4th quarter. 2nd and 7 for the Tiger Cats at their own 21-yard line. The game is tied. Cawley. Oh, looking for Emerson. Threw it behind him. Emerson couldn't get the brakes on fast enough to take in the pass.
Wanted to take it to the short side of the field, which is a little odd because you're going to get him sprinting out to his left. Take a look at this. He's got to sprint left. Now you got to turn, get the shoulder square, get the ball to him quickly. And when he doesn't get it to him that quickly, he does throw it behind him. That was a very catchable pass had it been thrown at the right time.
Ball as Baldiston stands at his 6-yard line, ready for the punt.
So this is the position that you don't want to be in. You're kicking the ball from your 10-yard line. You got Pinball Clemens, the return guy, and it's going to operate as Doug Fluty's going to get this ball on a very short field.
Trying to get the bounce, and they do. Clemens at the 45, the 50, knocked down at the 51-yard line. 44-yard kick and a 6-yard return. Next game, Toronto visits Calgary. It's on the Deuce, Tuesday, August the 12th. Check your local listings for the time in your area. Plenty of great action. The Stampeders and the Argonauts on the Deuce. Now Doug Fluty will start the 52. And he's got 1 minute and 39 seconds left, and nobody does the dance better than Doug Fluty with a little bit of time left.
Well, it's time for this Hamilton defense to come up and do exactly what they've been doing through the course of this football game. Confuse Doug, try to get him frustrated. But after that last long drive of 98 yards, I think he's gained his composure back.
And he's got to get away from pressure. Throws it down, and he does. First down. Paul Massotti. 12-yard gain.
Lots of heat on Doug Fluty. Watch, you can feel it coming from his backside. He's able to get outside. That's because Gonzalo Floyd goes back inside. He doesn't stay out there and contain Doug Fluty. Look how he lets him get outside, get around the corner, and it's a long chase for Mike Campbell, and that just buys him just that much time that he needs to find Paul Massotti down the field.
First and 10. Stacked on the left side. Fluty's carrying. And he's going to get the first down and a couple more. 12 yards. Fluty called his own number. Lots of receivers to his left. He said,
Empty back set. Quarterback draw. Now watch Philbrick. Going to step to one side. The big center, Mike Kislak, is just going to let him take him to the side that he wants to go. Doug Fluty's going to read off that block and go exactly the opposite way. Finds just a little bit of seam, and that's all that man needs right there to make a lot of things happen. First and 10, Argos.
19 yards for Fluty on the run. First and 10 at the 32. A little communication problem. Drummond's got it. He's making something out of it. Robert Drummond around the right side. Drummond's got the end zone in his sights. He gets pushed out of bounds at the 2. A broken play turns into a huge gain of 31.
Low snap. Doug Fluty is able to pick the ball up, still makes the handoff to Robert Drummond. And the only thing that takes place, this is a tired Hamilton defense. Look at that. One guy's got him, two guys got him. That's Tiggle. That's also Mumford. Two well-known tacklers on the Hamilton defense. And Drummond, as big as he is with that 220-pound frame, is able to break through those tackles and get it down. First and goal on the 1.
And Vaughn finally pushed him out of bounds. First and goal on the 1. 57 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Tied at 20. Argo's ready to take it in. And they do. Robert Drummond banging in almost everybody. He bounces off and finds the end zone for a 1-yard run. Boy, they can do it, but not a lot of time left. Clock said 1:38 when they had possession, and now it says 53, and now there's a get-together in the end zone.
Well, as you said earlier, Rob, Hamilton's only a quick 45-minute ride down the freeway, and there is a lot of bad blood between these two teams. And there's a lot of frustration coming out on the field right now. Robert Drummond again showing that great strength that he has on that 6'3" frame. Gets clogged up in the middle, spins out, keeps the legs churning. Gets down to the outside, puts it in for the major, and gives Toronto a significant lead with 53 seconds to go.
And 4 flags. Significant lead. but not insurmountable lead.
No, not at all.
That's
I mean,
the great thing.
There are a lot of crazy things that happen in the last 3 minutes of a Canadian Football League game.
Procedure, Toronto number 56.
Reporting again.
Chad Folk.
Procedure called before, they'll just back it up 5 yards and re-kick. But there's one big difference. Mike Colley on the other side does not quite have the experience that Doug Flutie has. And Doug Flutie shows why he's been a 5-time MVP in this league on those last 2 drives.
Point after is good. With 53 seconds left. A 1-yard touchdown run by Robert Drummond, and the Argonauts lead 27-20.
There's another look at the touchdown. Everybody's piled up in the middle. They're expecting Doug Flutie to take the quarterback sneak. Nothing doing. Mumford comes over top, takes a shot at him. But Robert Drummond, first thing he's going to do is hold on to the football. Second thing he's going to do is keep those legs pumping, and you can see the reaction on the sideline to Coach Don Matthews.
Don Matthews made it like, oh yeah, we do that all the time. Just
No, he's
move
concerned.
along.
You know, he thinks that this is the scoring drive there, 5 plays, 58 yards.
Just 46 seconds to march down.
But his point being, he's upset that it should not come down. He truly believed that it should not come down to his ball club having to score a touchdown in the last minute to win this football game.
Well, with the way the Hamilton defense was playing, it made it tough for the Argos to get rolling.
Well, a couple things that he said, you know, yesterday at the press conference. He said, offensively, we have to get more efficient. And he said from the midfield and to end that we have to come away scoring points.
Ruffin with the ball on the kickoff. And gets punched out of bounds at the 30. 48 seconds left. Bringing up the offense now for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Interesting to see how this works as Colley. There's the comparison now on these 2 gentlemen. Look at the completions and the attempts by Flutie.
But I don't think at any point that's probably not a fair numbers to show out the young rookie with his first start, because if you compare to Doug Flutie, that would be like me and you aiming up and thinking that we could play basketball, and we're comparing to Michael Jordan's numbers. He showed some really good things tonight. He showed that he's got some quick feet. He shows right now that he can throw the ball at times when he has time to throw the ball. He still has to learn a lot about this offense. He has to learn about his receivers. And hopefully, Don Southern is hoping in the next 41 seconds, he and one of these receivers or one of those backs, Amerson, can hook it up and tie this game up.
Plus, he's been beaten up, too. He's been knocked down. He's been dragged out and put back in again. He and Kendrick North both seeing action. That was a 6-yard gain by Morreale. Now, the question will start to stand on the outcome of this game. What happens with Don Southern as head coach of the Tiger Cats? Pitches it out, and another pitch. Smith now. He gets the first down. Well, he's now killing the clock. Get out of bounds. 18 seconds left. I'm not sure what Smith was trying to do.
Well, it was that quick thought that it's like insanity. Okay? It's just temporary insanity to think he's going to come out, they're going to do the little flea flicker. It's not open. He gets the first down, but then all he has to do is step out of bounds, stop the clock, and he thinks, I can see it. New car, a hero, a parade. Maybe I'm going to break it back and take it across into the field and score the touchdown. But now they only got 18 seconds.
1st and 10. 18 seconds left. Colley from the shotgun. Looking for receivers downfield across the middle. He's got the reception. Smith again.
I got a catch there.
And now he's starting to move it. Shonday Smith, an 18-yard reception.
Hamilton still has 1 timeout left. I think they should be calling it.
All right, let me ask you this square up. If Hamilton loses this, is Southern fired? Should he be?
I really don't think so. I mean, Don Southern has lost 3 football games. Well, as soon as he's trying to look to the sideline to figure out whether he can call the timeout or not. But the thing is, the catch was made, and they'll blow the clock dead to begin with until the offense has time to huddle up, the defense has time to get on their side, then the clock will start. Now, Don Southern has lost 3 ball games. He lost to Montreal in the opener 27-17. He lost to Hamilton in the second game 20-15 when they really should have won that ball game. They got beat fairly soundly last week 33-18 against Winnipeg, and they have today shown that they can give Toronto everything that they want and more. And I think he deserves a better chance than what he's going to get.
Well, I agree with you. Here's Cawley looking along to Bert Thornton. Oh, what a catch! He made these against Toronto in the first game of the fourth quarter when the 2 of them went at it. Thornton steps up again in the fourth for a 34-yard reception in double coverage. Antonius Potter and Adrian Smith were there, but Thornton stepped up and did it.
There's only one thing you can say. You the man! That's where he is. Now take a look at this. This is in double coverage. He's fighting off one guy with the left arm. He catches that ball with his right arm and right hand. He doesn't need 2 hands. What a great catch.
3 seconds left, fourth quarter. Tiger Cats down by 7. Cawley rolling to his right, looking for some room. Steps up. He's caught. Game is over. Argos win. They had to earn all of this for their 3rd win of the season. The Tiger Cats put on a terrific show. Argos win 27-20 over the Hamilton Tiger Cats at Skydome. From Skydome in Toronto, the hometown Toronto Argonauts improved to 3-1 with a 27-20 victory over the Hamilton Tiger Cats. You couldn't ask for a more exciting football game. But Danny Kepley, if you're Don Matthews, do you go, phew? And if you're Don Southern, do you go, not again?
Well, I think if you're Don Matthews, you're happy to come out of here with a win tonight because you probably didn't deserve to win. And if you're Don Southern, the thing is you deserve a better fate.
It was a great game to watch. You take a look at the numbers, but the numbers really don't tell the story.
No, they really don't. The excitement was in there of how well the Hamilton defense did, how it flustered Doug Flutie to begin with in the first half. A couple of big drives late in the game, and that enabled them to come out with the 27-20 victory.
The next game, the Toronto Argonauts visit the Calgary Stampeders. It's on the Deuce, Tuesday, August 12th. Check your local listings for the time in your area. The Canadian Football League on ESPN is produced by Deer Creek Productions in association with ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For Dan Kepley, I'm Rob Folds. Take care, everybody.